Welcome back to Sports Call on Tiger 95.9. We're here at SEC Media Days in Atlanta. Ryan Lavoie, JJ Jackson with you here today. And now we are pleased to be joined by Gary Stokan, the CEO of the Peach Bowl, and of course also with the Aflac kickoff in Atlanta. Gary, we certainly appreciate the time. How are you doing today?
Great to be with you guys. I know it's college football season when I'm sitting in front of you guys.
Absolutely. So a lot of fun stuff here to talk about. And let's start with that kickoff game sponsored by Aflac. Again, we've talked in recent years, Aflac is still a newer partner here coming along for the last couple of years. How has that relationship gone since agreeing with them and engaging in this partnership a couple of years ago?
Well, I don't know if I've ever told you the story, but we went up to kickoff college football at the New York Stock Exchange in New York. And we went up and rang the bell. And as we came down the steps, the people from New York Stock Exchange introduced me to Virgil Miller, who's the CEO or president of Aflac in the United States. And they're on the stock exchange. And Chick-fil-A had just told me that they need to spend their money in some other areas and that they were going to stay with the bowl game but step away from the kickoff game. And so I just met Virgil Miller, and I said, Virgil, you'd make a great partner for our kickoff game. We both give a large amount of money. They've given $147 million to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. We've given $23 million to find cures for childhood cancer. And you're in Columbus, you're in the state of Georgia. September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, so this would be a great partnership. In 2 weeks, we had a deal done where Aflac became the title sponsor of our kickoff game, and it's one of my favorite stories in 47 years of my career being in sports marketing that Virgil and I did a deal within 2 weeks of meeting each other.
If only they were always that simple.
Yeah,
right?
That's right. That's exactly right.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about that community impact. You mentioned the relationships in the community, giving back. Just tell me a little bit more about some of the donations and that sort of thing that
Sure.
You guys engage in.
I appreciate that question. We were founded in 1968 by the Lions Lighthouse as the first bowl game founded to give back to charity. We're the 9th oldest bowl game founded, but the first for charity. And we've kept that as part of our mission. We've given $65.8 million back to charity, which is the most of any bowl game by far. So we've maintained our mission of being the most charitable bowl organization in the country. We do so humbly, but we do so proudly to be able to help people through using college football for the greater good. And so we'll continue to do that with Children's Healthcare, with the Lions Lighthouse, and other charities that we support through our 4 pillars.
I want to get back to these kickoff games that we've got coming up this year with Atlanta. As we're currently sitting here, not being far away from Auburn at all, a lot of folks are going to be able to make up the trip and see some of those.
We hope to get Auburn back in the kickoff
right,
game.
Absolutely. And I know that Aflac has so many offices in the Columbus, Georgia area,
Right.
and have tons of commuters who actually live day by day in our community and go into work there and that sort of thing. What excites you about these games that you've got laid out this year, this fall?
It's interesting. When we moved from Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl into the CFP, we knew we were going to get more national games. And so we were going to lose for the most part, the ACC-SEC matchup that had made the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl so successful. We had sold out 18 straight years. And so we took that format and moved it forward in the kickoff game. So in most years, we'll have ACC versus SEC. We've gone out and gotten Oregon or Washington or other nationally ranked teams, but for the most part, like this year, 2 ACC-SEC matchups. 3 of the teams finished in the top 20 last year. We got a lot of quarterback changes, obviously, in college football. But we think that with Tennessee and Syracuse and Virginia Tech, South Carolina, the first week we have 2 of the most exciting games in that first week. We'll do them almost within 24 hours, one at noon on Saturday and one at 3 o'clock on Sunday. So we'll have a lot of orange on Saturday with Tennessee and Syracuse, and then the Beamer Bowl with Virginia Tech and South Carolina.
Yeah, very exciting for sure. And it leads me to my next question, Gary, because I know that we've talked in the past, some years it's one game, some years it is multiple games. Just as you navigate your own challenges with continuing to schedule these games out in the future, because I know some of that is tied to whether the SEC wants to go up to 9 games or not.
Great point, yeah.
Just what kind of been your conversations with the conferences about maintaining a major non-conference game, such as, again, the athletic
Yeah,
kickoff?
it's a great question. Learning from Nick Saban and Dabo Swinney and Kirby Smart and Frank Beamer, coaches will tell you that most teams improve the most from game 1 to game 2. And so in game 1, you want to have a very competitive opponent because you have live film to coach your kids up from week 1 to week 2. If you play a non-directional school in week 1, an easy win, your players are probably going to dominate their opponents. So the film doesn't mean much. And collectively as a team, you can't coach them up much. But if you play against a tough opponent, first off, your off-season workouts by your players are going to go to a new level. Secondly is you're going to have great film to coach them up because they're probably playing against someone that's an all-conference player on the other side, maybe a future NFL player. And so you can coach them up from there individually and collectively. And then thirdly, the opportunity to impress the CFP selection committee is very important for at-large bids. We saw in 2017 with Alabama playing against Florida State, number 1 against number 3. Alabama wins the game, does not win the SEC that year, and in a 14 playoff, they got placed 4th because that Florida State win in our Chick-fil-A kickoff game at the time gave them a differentiation point in their scheduling. So, and the committee will tell you, you don't schedule your league, your conference games. You schedule 3 or 4 games. What did you do in scheduling tough games in those 3 or 4 games? And how did you compete? And how did you win them or lose them? And so this kickoff game is very influential in, deciding, particularly now, the at-large slots in a 12-team playoff.
And I would imagine also along those lines, again, hearing Commissioner Sankey a little bit earlier today talking about if they can change the college football playoff metric from maybe strength of schedule to strength of record, and just really highlighting who you're playing and how often you're playing these quality of teams. Again, I've talked with you obviously in years past about, okay, this changing dynamic and teams are wondering what's going to be of the playoff, but I'd imagine a bigger playoff would also help, again, the case for these really big non-conference games, and that you can say, hey, it's a neutral site, so you're going to get some credit either way. You're not playing at someone's home place. You got a neutral site game that you can say, this is from a cross-conference matchup, and this is going to help your argument no matter what conference you're affiliated with because you're playing someone quality out of conference.
No doubt about it. I think the trepidation that we have is if the SEC indeed does move to 9 conference games, and then you have the rivalry games on top of that, like Georgia, Georgia Tech, Florida, Florida State, Clemson, South Carolina, Louisville, Kentucky, then it's going to get hard to play another tough game. So that could hurt us. The inventory could shrink if the SEC goes to 9 conference games. If they don't, then there's a real opportunity for the kickoff game to flourish moving forward.
We'll bring it back home here to the Auburn area. I'm seeing here in front of me the Southern Company Peach Bowl Challenge and photos on golf courses of all these coaches and that sort of thing. And I know that's a big topic right now revolving Auburn's football coach and Hugh Freeze, how much he gets out there on the course. Tell us a little bit about some of these fun initiatives that you've had over the years and an opportunity away from the field to be able to form some of these relationships with those coaches.
Well, it's ironic talking about Auburn and Hugh Freeze. You last year could not play with us on Monday, came in on Tuesday to play with the coaches because he was playing in an Auburn NIL golf tournament. So he did the right thing and not coming to us, but playing in Auburn NIL golf tournament, fundraising golf tournament. But, what I've learned is the coaches need some time to decompress after spring. And so we bring the coaches in the end of April, right after spring ball, them and their wives, no media, and bring them out to Lake Oconee at the Ritz, put them up and let them play with the Southern Company, which Alabama Power is involved in that. Some of their executives come over and play with the coaches. And then on Tuesday, that's on Monday, Tuesday, we have the coaches, current coaches play with retired coaches in a scramble Stableford point system. And all the money that we raise goes to the charities or the foundations of the coaches. So last year we gave $310,000 to the coaches. We have $9 million that we have created for scholarships through teams that play in our bowl and kickoff game and our golf tournament in the past for Title I kids from Atlanta to attend those schools. So again, big part of our educational format is one of our pillars in our charitable donations. So the coaches have done that. And it's amazing to see the coaches and the relationships, the questions, the conversation, especially with everything that's going on now.
Yeah.
There's some really strong relationships that get built, through this golf tournament. So it's a lot of good that it does for a lot of people.
And lastly, Gary, we'll close with this. Obviously, the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, a part of the playoff rotation. Again, I know that obviously speaks for itself, being such a big deal, but tell us just a little bit about the continued partnership with the playoff, with Chick-fil-A, and just what that game means.
Yeah, very blessed to have Chick-fil-A as the longest title partner in college football history. I often tell people their food is great. I just went over and had some food for lunch, but their people are better. There truly is a partnership that they ask what they can do for us. We ask what we can do for them. And we both have a continuity of interest in college football fans. So they're going to they're looking at extending their contract. A lot still has to be done with the CFP and deciding what the playoff format is from 26 going forward. Deals have to be done with them with the ESPN. And then once the CFP does their deal with ESPN, what the playoff is, which December 1st is the deadline. They have to have a decision on the 26 format where they stay at 12, go to 14, go to 16 by December 1st. I think they'll have it done before that. But once that's done, then the bowls will negotiate with CFP. And we hope, wish, and pray that we are continuing as a partner for the CFP in 26 through 31.
Absolutely. He is Gary Stokan, again, CEO of the Peach Bowl. Gary, we certainly appreciate the time with you this year. And, again, all the best with, again, I wish you 2-week deals in the future. I know they don't get done that way often, but wish you a lot of success in your continued work with the kickoff game in the Peach Bowl.
Great to be with you guys, and have a great season.
Absolutely.
Hi to you, Freeze, and all our Auburn friends.
Absolutely. He is Gary Stokan, again, CEO of the Peach Bowl, today on Sports Call. We'll be right back after this.
Right down the street. I remember when I did